Hello everyone. I hope everything is great. So today we will discuss the background image property of CSS, how we can set the image in the background of the page or we can set the background image of a specific element. So today's topic is the background image. So without wasting time, let's start. So for set the background image for an element, we have the property background image, and we need to set an image URL to this property for setting the image for an element. And how we can set the image? We have the URL method, and in which we need to give some image file path. Let's assume the file name is demo.png, so we can give this way. And after setting this property, we have an image in the background of that element. So let's quickly start. I am just creating, oh, I am just using the earlier video example, and the file name is background color.html, and CSS that we are using the background color.css. I am just change the title here, which is the background image. Now we want to set the image for this page, and for that we need to select the body element in the CSS, and as we know, we need to set the background image property. Use the URL method here and give the path of image. So I have few sample images at my desktop, and I use one of them, which is the beach.jpeg. I give the URL here, beach.jpeg. Let's save this file, go to browser and refresh and check what happens. So you can see this image will be shown here. Let me full screen the browser. So you can see this image is shown this way. This is actually the image, and after that it automatically repeats, and same this will be repeated again in the vertically. So let me create one paragraph here. By default, image start from top left corner, and also it repeat horizontally and vertically. We can set this behavior as well by using of some other CSS properties, but today we will discuss just only the background image. Let me save this and go to browser and refresh this. So here is our paragraph, you can see, but my image background is little dark, so the fonts are not properly visible. So this is just the standard practice. We need to put the background image with the light color so that our fonts are properly visible. So let's use some other image. I have some other image as well. Let me change the URL from beach.jpg to pix.jpg. Save this, go to browser, refresh. You can see this image is also start from the top bottom and also repeat, but this have the light color, so my fonts or my text is properly visible here. So this is the general practice. And also one standard practice is to set always the background color as well. Okay, this is the correct spelling for the background color, and I am using the gray color here. So why this is needed? Because sometime when you create the real projects, maybe your image is uh, not directly load onto the page because of slow internet, or maybe some other problems are there. Images are not allowed to load onto there. There is some proxy implemented at the client side. So if image is not available, then at least background color is visible to the user. Go to here, refresh. Now we have the image, so there is no effect of background color, but yes, this is the standard practice. Now what is the case? We can also set the multiple images in the background, and we can also create the layers of the background images. So currently I am using the only one image. I can also use other image over this and separate multiple image URLs with the comma. Let me give one image tree.png. Save this, go to browser, refresh, and you can see we have the trees, and then we have this background image as well. Then we have the text color. So this way we can create the layers of the images as well. Okay, so this way you can put the multiple images in the background image. Now you can also set the position of the background image by use of multiple CSS properties. We will discuss those properties in the next video. For now, let's discuss what we can also assign instead of the background image. So this is the first thing that we can assign into the background image. Other than this, we can also provide the none as the keyword. That means no background image. We can give the initial value, that is the default value of background image. We can also assign the inherit value. That means this background image property will take the value from its parent element, right? Also we can provide some gradients here. So these are the basic things. We don't need to discuss these because these are simply have the value from the default, from the none, or from the parent. Let's discuss about the gradients. How we can assign the gradient effect to a background image. Let's discuss that. So in gradients, we have three options. One is the linear gradient, second is the radial gradient, and third is the conic gradient. And as the name suggests, linear will be smooth linear from top to bottom, or maybe bottom to top, maybe from corner, top left corner, maybe from top right corner. Okay, radial is basically start from the center and go to edges, and conic is basically work with the radial situation from starting 0 degree to 360 degree. So let's use these. So what I did, I remove this, save, go to browser, refresh, and all the background images are removed. Here I add one heading, use the H2, and first we discuss the linear gradient. For this I create the div. Okay, save this, go to browser, refresh. Currently div is not visible. What I did, I select this div, set its width. Let me take the 400 pixel, height 400 pixel, okay, and background color gray. Save this, go to browser, refresh, and this block is shown on the page. Now what I did, I simply use the background image property and use the linear gradient method here. In linear gradient, I give two colors initially, red and yellow. Save this file, go to browser and refresh. You can see this gradient will be display, start from the red color and go to the yellow color. Now there is not the limit for uh, these color. We can add as much as we want. Let me add three color, go to browser, refresh, and you can see this gradient will be shown with three colors, red, yellow and the blue. We can also use some other colors, maybe black. Go to browser, refresh, and you can see the linear gradient of the color. So we can add as much as we want. Okay, so this is the default behavior of linear gradient. Okay, also what we can did with this method, we can also change the position from where this gradient start. So let's discuss about the exact syntax of the linear gradient. So linear gradient, we use this method, and in this function we have the values where we can give the angle, or we can also give the to this keyword will be required, and the specific position, or we can say side. This field is optional and the required field is the color list. Okay, so currently we are using only the color list. Let's use this gradient. Let's use the angle and as well as the side. So for using the side, we need to add the to keyword, then give the space. Let me add it from the top. Save this file, go to browser, refresh, and you can see now it start from the bottom and go to the top, to top. If I change it to left, then this gradient will be start from the right and move to the left. Same way we can also change it to give the value right. Now the effect start from the left and go to the right. Also we can use this way, top right. This will start from one of the corner and move to the top right section. We can use the bottom right here. Now it goes to bottom right. So we can play with this thing and create different type of linear gradients. We can use this behavior to our page, or we can also use this thing for a specific element. Okay, so this is about the linear gradient. Instead of doing this, we can also use the degree parameters. Let me add this and add 180 degree. We can also give the value in this form, and you can see this will have the effect from this way. We can give the 90 degree, go to browser, refresh, and this will start from this corner and ends with the right section. So this way we can set the linear gradient. Same way we can use the radial gradient, but radial gradient start from the center and go to the edges side. Let's start that as well. So what I did, I remove this, use the radial gradient. Go to browser, refresh, and you can see it start from the center and go to the edges side of. There is also we can add multiple colors as we want. Let me add some other color. Save, refresh, you can see red, then yellow, and then the blue color. So this way we can set the radial gradient. Radial gradient in which we can also set some other parameters. So what is the structure of the radial gradient? We can also set the position here. Let me give some example. So what I did, we can set the circle or ellipse as the size. So by default shape is the circle. We can also use the ellipse. Save this, go to here, refresh. Nothing will be open because this is in the square format. Okay, so we can also set the position like closest side. This is the default. So now you can see the effect change, and also there are other options like closest corner. Go to browser, refresh, and this have the different effect. So we can, this way we can set the shape, and also we can set the position here using the at keyword. This is the way. I just remove this thing, save, go to browser, refresh. Okay, you can use the corner side, refresh, and this way. So this way you can set multiple gradients into the page by using the radial gradients. Same way there is the third option, which is the conic. Let's discuss that as well. Conic gradient, in this you can set the list of colors. Go to browser, refresh, and you can see this will work starting from 0 degree and then moving up to the 360 degree. Okay, and also in conic gradient we have the option of setting the position and start from same as we have in the radial and in the linear gradient. Just for a showing purpose, what I did, I add the border radius property here and give it to value 50%. This will create our div in a circular form. See, okay. Now we want to create some graphs. So what I did, I give this to 40%, save this, go to browser, refresh, and this will change little thing. Now what I did, I give it to 0 and 30%. Oh, let's give 70%. Save this, go to browser, refresh, and this red is clean from here and yellow starts from here. And also what I did, I give into blue, start from 0 here, refresh. Okay, so you can see now this is looks like a pie chart, and this simple way you can create a pie chart and dynamically you can set the values of this 60% this way, 20% this way. So you can create a gradient here. So instead of doing the heading linear gradient, let's see the gradient only, and this way you can set the gradient in the background image, and you can create multiple effects of the page. So for background images, that's all. If you like this video, please share it, comment on it, and like this video, and also subscribe our channel. For now, that's it. Bye bye guys.